Hey, this is Dr. Carla Michelle, and welcome back. We're going to continue with the free woman discussion. Actually, I'm going to just say this is the how to live free every day. How about that? So that we welcome in our gentlemen listeners. How to be free every day. We're going to say that because I, as an executive coach, as an executive advisor, as someone who works in organizations, for organizations, working with their teams and their leadership with entrepreneurs, just kind of letting you know what I do. Um, Understanding the how to live free every day, even in your job, even in your work, even in your business, because I believe as a business owner, it is something that is so vital to give us the strength to wake up every day and understand that this is a new day with new opportunity and a boatload of freedom to do things differently if we need to. In your job, this is a day, a new day that you can clock in, go in, turn on your computer at home, and you can make it the kind of day that you need it to be for this day. Many times we carry over yesterday into today. We carry over the last hour into the next hour. We carry over the afternoon into the evening. Where can we? Because last time when we talked a little bit about, I mentioned how I'm making decisions, and one of the decision is how to describe my seasons. And I've decided that the only way I am describing any season is by saying it's a winning season. So as you enter this day, wherever you are, as you're ending the day, whenever you're listening, you decide how the next minute's going to go. You decide how you want your day to end. You decide how you want your day to start. You decide how you want to feel by noonday. That is how we live free every day, by making the decisions that need to be made, creating a world, creating the environment, even if it's here. Maybe we cannot change the world, but you can change your world. You can change your world. You can change how you show up for yourself. Okay, before I get started, I want to make sure you know that you can get the free woman, How to Live Free Every Day on Amazon. I will put the link in the show notes, but also you can visit drcarlainc.com. That's drcarlainc.com. Go to the store or resources. You'll see the books and you can click on, there's other books there. Strong Woman Playbook, Become Your Greatness. This is basically my life story with all of the ugly and all of the hard and all of the tears. Not saying that I don't have ugly heart and tears anymore, but this is what took me from, this is more of the story, and this is the playbook of what took me from when I was once married, when I once did a lot of things for women in women ministry, as well as I led events for people and to help them and to empower them and to encourage them, and how I went from that and to go into a time in a season where at that time I wouldn't call I was winning, but at that time I did believe there were some great things that were destined for my life. So I had to keep going. I had to keep believing. I had to keep searching. I had to keep working from within and finding out what was tripping me up and what was I subconsciously allowing to trip me up because of different programming that had happened in my life way before I knew it, way before I knew the impact it would have on me in my 40s and my 50s. And yes, I will soon be 60. Hallelujah. So we have to know that this life that we have, and this, well, first, this book is on Amazon as well, but this book is this life that we have, we can write our own playbook. That's one of the things I love to tell my clients. It's like, where's your playbook? Where's what you've learned in the past? Where's what you've experienced? What's what you've overcome? Where's your playbook? Even in football, even in any sport, there's a playbook. There's a playbook in businesses for acquisitions. There's a playbook on what to do and how to do it. There's a reason to have a playbook. And I encourage you, read this, get this, but also I encourage you to write your own playbook. Write it down somewhere, record it, your own videos, something. Where's your playbook? All right. And then there's also confidence without a chaser. I always have my tongue just, but anyway, confidence without a chaser. And this is real life stories with my clients, names, not in there, but stories of real life love and leadership. And this is applicable for so many ways and so many people. So confidence without a chaser, that is also available on Amazon. All righty. Let's go ahead and get into where we left off last time. And the last sentence that I read was, last words, how about fostering a mindset that thrives on growth and self-discovery? Fostering a mindset that thrives on growth and self-discovery. Self-worth we talked about, and how it can be attacked so young. We talked a little bit about how it's attacked. I shared how molestation and how that led to not making good decisions going on because of what I was programmed to think about someone utilizing my body without my consent. That even if that's a whole nother I felt myself going, but okay, let's see how I can bring it in. Without consent at the time helps you it kind of pushes you in a way that you don't think straight about certain decisions when it comes to your body. Thank you, God, for helping me bring that in. So your self-worth, your value, the way you see yourself, the demand on what you want from yourself, what you deserve and what you desire. It's very important as we're talking about freedom that we're mindful of what we need to be free from, what's been entangled into our life, our decisions, our thinking, that corrupt and destroy and or deflect or decrease the power that it takes to be free. Selah. So this inner freedom is not just a mere notion, but the very bedrock upon which all other forms of freedom are constructed. This inner freedom, your inner freedom, is not just a mere notion, but the very bedrock upon which all other forms of freedom are constructed. I'm on page 20, second paragraph. It's the key to liberating ourselves from shackles of self-doubt and self-criticism. I'm going to hover right there. It's the key. Inner freedom is the key to liberate ourselves from shackles of self-doubt and self-criticism. How much self-doubt and self-criticism are you carrying right now? I want you to write that down. How much self-doubt and self-criticism, just to say, how about I don't do your whole life? How about we just do it in the last hour? How much self-doubt, how much self-criticism happened in this last hour? So when you think about that, do you know that you have the opportunity? Because we always have opportunity, whether they work for us or they work against us. We always have opportunity to make decisions about what we want to do with a thought that comes to us. All the time. The thoughts that get you in the night, the thoughts that wake you up in the morning, the thoughts that put you to bed, the thoughts that happen when you're with a coworker, the thoughts when you're working on a project, the thoughts when you're with your spouse, the thoughts when you're thinking about your relationships, the thoughts that happen, the self-doubt, the self-criticism that comes in when you're raising your kids, when you're being a mother, when you're being a parent, when you're being a father. Self-doubt and self-criticism are, I won't say erased. I will say they are not as loud and they don't have as much impact when you're aware of your inner freedom. When you understand the foundation of what living free every day means. Because every day, you, me, the world has a choice of how they want to show up. Is it in this self-doubt today? Is it in being so critical of yourself? And then some of us, we are not necessarily realizing, well, we're critical of ourselves, but we take it out on others. We criticize everything someone else does. It's never enough. It's never going to work. Oh, there they go again. They always do that. But usually, we are in a place where we've criticized ourselves so much it just overflows into someone else's life. It's like we take up residence or authority over what someone else is doing or what it's not doing because of our self-doubt and our self-criticism. Does it make us feel better? Maybe. But is it getting us where we want to go? Is it creating the relationships that we want? Is it helping with communication? Is it helping with our teens? Is it helping with us being a leader? Is it helping with us being a parent? Is it helping us with being a partner? When we think about the shackles that we have with self-doubt and self-criticism. Because remember, we want to foster a mindset that thrives on growth and self-discovery. We want a mindset that thrives on growth and self-discovery. So if we want the mindset of growth, self-doubt takes away from that. Criticism takes away from that. And that's why we walk in self-discovery. Because when we are discovering these things about ourselves, when we're discovering how we think, when we're discovering the impact of our thoughts and our actions, then the inner freedom is able to grow. When we manage to open the door, or that door, we unveil a world of boundless opportunities. Boundless opportunities happens in a person whose self-doubt and self-criticism are very low. Or I won't even say very low. I will say lower than they have been. When they're lower than they have been in the way that you've been functioning, when we manage to open that door of growth and self-discovery and just seeing the self-doubt and the self-criticism, we unveil a world of boundless opportunities. We become the architects of our own destinies, capable of designing a life that harmonizes with our deepest desires and values. Where are you missing the opportunity to be the architect of your life? Where are you missing the opportunity to be the creator of your day? Yes, you may have responsibilities. Yes, we all do. Yes, we may have commitments, and our calendars kind of run us, or our assistants run us, or your team, or you're a part of a team and your boss runs you. And the requests that come in your emails early in the morning, late at night, they run you. But you still have the capability of designing a life that is harmonious with your deepest desire and your value. So I'm going to now ask you a question. How about that? And this is in page 21. I want you to take a moment to think about your current understanding of freedom. We talked a little bit about it. And what does the concept of freedom mean to you personally? So I've been talking, you may have read now, you've read, let's just say that you've read, and you've really thought about this word when we talk about living free every day. What is it? Think about your current understanding of freedom. How would you define it? You can always put it in the chat. You can always send me a message, email. But I want to know, in your book, write it down. What do you think your current understanding of freedom is? What do you think? What do you know? Freedom can have so many definitions, and that's something I'm embracing, that there is not one definition for change in your life. Freedom to you can be in another column than it is for me. I will say this. One of the ways that I thought and believe and still enjoy freedom is working for myself. When I did work for someone, and I'm a vision boarder, I'm keeping it before me. I had a picture of a woman who looked like me, and I've shared this many times, or kind of was an image of me, but she was on a computer at a desk. And on that, I would say I work from home. Now, this is before working from home was anything. So to me, working from home was like I owned my own business, not just working from home. So that became a reality. And that was freedom for me. That was like, oh my gosh, I am living the life that I created in my mind. I am living it. That to have that freedom to live that out years later, more than just a couple of years, to live that out is like, wow. That's the thing. That's how powerful we are when we understand that we are not inhibited by other people's choices unless we decide to be inhibited by other people's choices. When I quit my job and went to go full time in my company, it's not like I was having a bad experience. It wasn't like that at all. I enjoyed the people I worked for. And some of them are still acquaintances and friends today. So no problem. But the point was, there was that day, because I had been working on this. I have been talking about this. I have been proclaiming these things to happen in my life. Already having clients, seeing them, working full time, having clients part time, this is how I imagined and believed and in my mind created what freedom looked like, was to be without a full-time job. Isn't that crazy? Freedom to me was not to have a check every 2 weeks. Freedom to me was not to have someone paying into my health insurance. When we look at it that way, freedom to me was to not have a PTO and vacation time, just guaranteed. Freedom to me was not having to get up and drive to an office Monday through Friday and call my own meetings. That was freedom. But when I say it like that, like I actually chose freedom and saw freedom as not getting a check every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Guaranteed. Where now freedom, what I did choose was I can get up what I want, but I have the freedom to get up when I want and do what I want. But I also have to remember that, the check don't just come by itself. There's a commitment. So my freedom went from one commitment to another commitment. The commitment first was more of a commitment to someone else's company, someone else's dream, someone else's purpose. Freedom to me now registered as commitment to my company, my dreams, what I see, the impact I want to have on my clients and the people, and when I speak and where my friends, and to do life my way. And to cut a check when I want to cut a check, there's payroll. But that was freedom to me. Which is harder? Which takes more energy? They both take work. They both take focus. They both take a knowledge of what I want. So define freedom for yourself. What does the concept of freedom mean to you personally? Not what anyone told you, not with how you were raised. What does freedom mean to you? As the person you are right now, what does freedom mean? Is freedom for there's so many, the percentages of people looking for a job. Is freedom to you getting back into the workforce? Is that freedom, or is it habit? No, I am not telling you not to get back in. I'm asking you to ask yourself, what does freedom look like to you? So when you're looking at these jobs, when you're looking at these opportunities, when you're anticipating the interviews, are you looking at it as, what does freedom look like to me? Or does freedom look like, and I am not mad at you, does freedom look like a six figures? Does freedom look like whatever you're making? Does that freedom, is it just to know I have a job and I will get a check until they say they don't need me? Is that freedom? And then, what does the concept of freedom mean to you personally? Then I want you to think about, have your experiences shaped this understanding in any way? Has anything in your life shaped how you think and how you define freedom? And once you answer that and dig real deep, is there anything that needs to be adjusted because of the experiences that you've experienced in your life? So think about your understanding. Think about the concept. And one more question. Then I'll take a break till the next time as we continue living free every day. Reflect on the idea of inner freedom as a foundation. Reflect on the idea of inner freedom as a foundation. Have you experienced moments in your life where inner freedom led to external liberation? I want to know. Write it down. You can share it with someone. Where in your life have you experienced inner freedom and you could see the external liberation? My life recently, because I really thought freedom would be owning the company. And it is freedom, but it's still responsibility. So I am free. I do live by the grace and power of God, I live a really good life. Lately, when I think about what's happening in this winning season and how things are being uprooted of things that I believed, things that I could bet my life on, the things that I knew that I could do. One of them is I was a high truster of myself. A high truster of myself. I truly, truly believed on self-dependency. But me going back to our question, that dependency came because of experiences in my life. As growing up, there were some things that had nothing to do with food on the table, clothes on my back, a roof over my head. But there was something that I believed I needed from my mother. And that was because I stop because I want to make sure I'm hitting it and not just saying something to fill the space. And I know what I would say. Okay, this is what I have. I needed from my mother someone I could depend on to know me. And I can feel emotion right here. And if it comes, I'll let it out all the way. I'm working on that. I do that, but I want to not let it happen because I'm filming. But I wanted my mom to know what I needed without me saying it. Doesn't make sense, but that's what I needed. That's what I needed. So in life, in relationships, sometimes moms, we do it with our children. We want them to know. We want people to know what we need without asking. And I believe that's why many of us become pleasers, because we believe, okay, if you do not know what I need, what I'll do is act like, or excuse me, I will give you what I feel you need to let you know, see, I see you. So can you see me? And that's not how it works. Pleasers just get frustrated because no one is actually paying attention. What they're paying attention to, and rightfully so, is the attention that you give. It's the things that you do. It's the reading of the mind that you want, that you do for others. And they're excited that they do not have to say a thing. And you're willing to read their mind. I was willing to read a lot of minds because I thought that was important. You know, we try to fix what we didn't have. And so I think of the experience of and what influenced and shaped my decisions when it came to freedom was, now for me, it's speaking up. Speaking up. Stop. I am too old right now. I'm not too old, But I've been here long enough to know that it ain't working. It doesn't work. Maybe they could kind of read my mind, but maybe my mind is hard to read. But so if it is, I need to speak up. How many of you need to speak up? How many of you need to stop expecting people to read your mind? Even if they say they love you and you really think, well, if they love me, they would know. No, no. I can't read your mind. You can't read my mind. So that is some of the things that I've learned when it comes to what has shaped my decisions when it comes to inner freedom. And changing that. And the outside has made me a better communicator of what I need, or to even ask the question, like, what's going on? Because I don't want to read your mind about what's going on. I want you to tell me what's going on when I sense that something's going on. Instead of trying to, really like spend days or hours of trying to figure out what's going on, trying to figure it out, what should I do? Because, my mind works. Remember, strong, strategic, talented, resilient, optimistic, necessary, global. That is how I think. I'm thinking of strategy to try to figure this out. But I believe it's time for me to rest in that. Like, stop working so hard to figure out things that you can just ask about. Stop working so hard and searching or expecting when you can just say it. So, with this in closing, inner freedom comes with the authenticity, the awareness, the understanding of what has shaped you and doing something to reshape it so you can form it into the life that you want. So think about that. We'll stop here. And remember, go ahead and order your book. This is my no-sell copy, which has all my notes in it. But there is Confidence Without a Chaser. There's the Strong Woman's Playbook. And then there's what we're going over, The Free Woman. So go ahead and visit drcarlainc.com or the Amazon link for any of these books. Just go ahead and search Amazon. They will come up. And join me the next time when we talk about living free every day. All right. Thank you for your time. Stay strong. Stay not just strong, like, but stay in a realm where your strength brings your freedom. Strength to communicate. Strength to speak your mind. The strength to not let the past form you and keep you in bondage. All right, this is Dr. Carla Michelle, and I'll see you next time. Take care.